I'm Bianca Duck, the executive producer here at ITC Asia. Today, I have the pleasure of sitting down with Susan Fanning, the head of Wellbeing Solutions at Aon. Susan, thank you so much for sitting down with me today.
Thank you so much for the
Of course. How are you enjoying your time at ITC Asia so far?
It's amazing. It's an incredible opportunity to reconnect with old friends, to make new friends, to get to understand what's happening across the insurance landscape. And Asia is definitely a place where there's a huge amount that's happening.
Yeah, great. So from a global perspective, are there particular regions or markets where you're seeing the most potential growth for InsurTech?
I might be slightly biased sitting in Asia, but I think there are a huge amount of opportunities in Asia, and in the widest possible sense. So there's some new emerging markets like Bangladesh, Cambodia, Vietnam, where there are very young populations, high growth populations who will have some really exciting needs coming forward. We also have a number of countries with aging populations like Thailand, Japan, where they have a huge need for insurance and delivery of services that go alongside it. And that opens up a huge amount of opportunities for insurtechs, because for the insurers, we're really good at our bread and butter. And then we need help to be able to reach out as we expand beyond the core of our insurance operations.
So as you look ahead to the next 3 to 5 years, what do you predict that will be some of the biggest advancements that we start seeing across the industry?
So I've started to see at the conference here today and over recent months is much greater collaboration. In terms of insurance is getting more expensive, but when you look at the Asian market, actually the penetration rates tend to be very low. And if insurance continues to increase in price, the market's going to become smaller and smaller. So that's a great opportunity for increased collaboration, both within the wider ecosystem, but also opportunities for the insurers to come together and to work with their industry bodies, to work with others, to be able to create a common voice for change and to be able to go to regulators and go to other bodies with a united voice. I think that will also make it easier for insurtechs to be able to know and understand where some of the opportunities within the markets are.
Sure. So with that being said, what challenges do you foresee for insurtech companies that are getting a little bit of traction, but they have to go through regulations and work with regulators and other partners?
I think my advice for startups is generally 3 things. It's they really know your customers. So what are the needs that you're addressing and know it in detail, and the landscape that goes around it, the terminology that's there. Because once you know that, actually, it's much easier to enter into conversations with other players to be able to grow traction. I think the second point is normally about how long it takes to get traction. Once you have the initial conversation with insurers, with reinsurers, with others, to get from there to actually closing a contract can take you about 2 years.
Okay.
So you might get pilots, you might get things at the start, but to get to a full relationship will take time. So it's know this up front, understand what does that look like, and be really open and honest as to where you're at and where it is that you're going. What's your roadmap for getting there? Then the third one is to get together with other startups, to form part of the startup ecosystem, and use that as your voice for going to regulators. Because as an individual startup, your budgets are quite limited. Your access to professional advisors is limited. But if you know your ecosystem, you know others that are within it, there's a huge amount of help and support that's there. So whether it's from law firms, it's from professional services organizations, even the partners that you have some traction with, they will openly share what's going on. So it's be curious, ask, and collaborate.
Right. Well, I think that's really great advice for them. Thank you so much for sitting down with me, Susan. I hope you enjoy the rest of the conference.
Amazing. Thank you so much. And wonderful to meet you today.
You too.
Thank you.